Welcome back to the HIA-LI Economic Development Summit. I'm Eliud Custodio at Turn One Studio, and I'm here with Dan Panico. Did I pronounce that correctly?
You did. You're
Oh.
one of the few people who pronounce it right.
Oh, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Town Supervisor of Brookhaven. Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me.
I grew up in Stony Brook, lived
Mhm.
in Port Jeff. When we first moved out from the Bronx, we came to Mount Sinai.
Okay.
I know Brookhaven well.
Sure.
Love it out there.
It's a great town.
You had said something specific about the duck pond in Stony Brook as being a quagmire. I wanted to ask you about that.
Well, it is. We struggled with the owner for over a year, right?
Okay.
And I think it's been dismissed almost as a squabble. It's anything but a squabble. And,
Okay.
one of my jobs is to protect the taxpayers of the town of Brookhaven. And we're not going to accept ownership and potential litigation of something we don't own.
Okay.
So we struggled with them for a year. We're past that point. I mean, is it a year wasted? It is, but it's in no way the fault of the town of Brookhaven.
Sure.
In fact, we're the only entity that is going to see this done. Ward Melville Heritage Organization owns it.
Mhm.
It's half in the town of Smithtown via the village of Head of the Harbor,
All right,
and
yeah.
half in the town of Brookhaven. So the property, the dam, even the road, although each municipality maintains a wear course of the asphalt, whether we should or shouldn't, it really doesn't matter at this point.
Okay.
It's owned. So we're past that point. I've been able to get $2.5 million from Congressman Eliud,
Excellent.
2.75 million commitment out of the state of New York, working with Rob Calarco, who's the Long Island representative for Governor Hochul, and we're appreciative to both of them. The town of Brookhaven is putting up $1 million. So it's going to probably take somewhere around $8.5 million
Okay.
to get done what the owner has showed us now. They're about 30% designed. In 4 months, they'll be between 60 and 90% designed. They have to submit to the DEC, dam safety, and a lot of government levels for permits. If they get all of the permits and everyone's okay, that'll be a big step forward. Then comes the funding. The Village of Head of the Harbor is going to have to put up some amount of money,
Mhm.
as will the owner, Ward Melville Heritage Organization. Although we don't own it, we are willing to take on the project, see it done, and it'll be a great day when that is restored. I mean, I live in Santa Mauritius. I took my kids there.
Yeah.
My wife and I, we took our kids there. It's a pond that defines Stony Brook and the quaint little unofficial village that Ward Melville left the people of Stony Brook.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a good example of how public projects are way more complicated than the average folk tend to know.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
As far as what we covered on the panel today, for those that couldn't make the panel, what would you share as a recent victory for Brookhaven and things that you're looking forward to?
Brookhaven, we have a lot of victories.
Okay.
We have community-supported redevelopment in East Patchogue, in Ronkonkoma, in Port Jeff Station. We're working to improve Coram. We have great development with Beechwood, who's our master developer
Okay.
in Mastic Beach. That's a very complex and complicated project. That is the area in which I grew up. I graduated from William Floyd High School, and that's now coming together. I've equated it to essentially 4 parallel paths that have been proceeding,
Okay.
and now they're starting to intersect as we get toward the project. People should see buildings coming down in the first phase toward the late fall, winter of this year. And the people down there, they've been, I would say, let down decades ago. I don't think the community got its due. It was a community that never reached its potential.
Mm.
I'm committed to seeing that through for the people of Mastic Beach, the area in which I grew up, and a brand new downtown will spring from the earth if everything goes right, and I'm working to keep that on course.
Excellent. Anecdotally, it felt you were the most outspoken about the garbage issue on Long Island. Again, for those that couldn't make the panel today, can you summarize the concerns we need to know about?
It's a complex issue, but basically, we have to live in reality.
Mhm.
The waste to energy facilities are needed. If the state needs to change their law to consider waste to energy to be renewable, or if there needs to be a global agreement, a settlement on a separate issue, which is the LIPA assessment issue and the waste to energy issue coupled together, it's going to take real leadership.
But why is considering it renewable helpful? I heard Angie say that as well, and I didn't understand
Angie
that.
brought that up because the state laws that exist right now do not consider waste to energy as renewable.
Okay.
We support the environment, and we prove that not in our words, but with our actions. Every single town board meeting, we have an environmental project. We're preserving open space. We're leaders when it comes to alternative energy in the town. But in this life and in this space, you have to be pragmatic in your approach. And when the state legislative majority passed the CLCPA in 2018, mandating things like electric school buses and no more electric in people's, no more gas, I should say, in people's
Stoves and
houses.
whatnot.
It
Yeah.
was unrealistic. And when you do things like that, you actually set the movement back.
Mhm.
Because everybody gets their sabers rattled, everyone gets angry, and you actually take a step back when you're not pragmatic and you let ideology trump over pragmatism. So we have to be realistic. Our geography is our destiny. We live on an island. The Long Island Railroad is a passenger commuter line. We tried for years in Yaphank to get on the North Point property, which was formerly the county-owned property, between the expressway down to Horse Block Road.
Okay.
Rail approved to have another option for the region. That was stymied by the state of New York, namely the legislative majority, which is based out of the city, for 4 years. Then what happened? Winters sold the property to North Point. There was litigation that ensued, and now that's not going forward. And the inability to even have that possibility of rail, outside of the practical approach of railing off garbage, you're taking an option which, from an economic standpoint, only could potentially drive up the cost for everyone, given the best scenario. So it's the number one issue. And I saw the governor's press conferences. I try to work with the governor the best that I can. I saw the auto insurance ad that's out with the governor at like a used car lot. I honestly thought Bruce Blakeman made it.
Okay.
Because it was so bizarre. You got to be a leader. You got to take up this issue. And you know what? And if she does, as the governor, really takes command of this issue, we should give her the credit she deserves. But right now, everyone in the state is taking a hands-off approach, and it's leading our region to potential environmental and economic peril.
To wrap up, this is an HIA-LI event. How does this organization help with your initiatives with this stuff?
Well, I think they're great because there's a lot of opinion leaders. There are a lot of business leaders, people in the development community. They need to know and have a clear perspective outside of what they read, right? In the newspaper, perhaps there's only so much space in a newspaper. Online, on social media, I have a mixed view, more than a mixed view on that. But hearing directly from the supervisor's lips or anybody on that panel, it is unequivocally direct talk with regard to what this region faces and what the intentions and vision of Long Island's leaders have for the region.
Love it. Thank you for your time.
Thank
for
you
being
very,
part
very
of
much.
this panel.
Thank you.